Hey everyone, good morning, good evening to the intellectual world of intellectual module right now. As you know, my name is Advocate Priti Khastigar. I'm an Indian patent agent also, practicing at the intersection of technology, law, business, combined with AI, ML, AR, VR, all the G's known to people, and the technologies which are not even in the market because as a patent attorney or as a patent expert, we are supposed to do a lot of research, and patenting has been a game of 20 years. However, if somebody is able to appreciate the trademark law and the copyright law and is able to combine intellectual property rights in the right manner, I would say intellectual property rights itself is a indispensable way of understanding business, to master the business model, or I wouldn't even say master the business model because that is always work in progress, and information and the logic behind so many things have been deduced in the recent past. And today, the first thing I really wanted to discuss is I had an inquiry, and I thought I'll cater to this inquiry where one of the innovators has asked me difference between two words while writing a patent application, and those words, I would say, let's start with the understanding of what a patent application is all about, or what is the wow factor of law in intellectual property rights, and especially while writing a patent application, whether it's a provisional application or whether it's a complete application or a non-provisional application as stated before USPTO. In India, we call it as a complete application. Ordinary application is the term given to the application generally filed by the citizens of India. Coming to the point is, while explaining any word, say for example, it's a box having a length, breadth, and height. If the box can be held in the hand, it's a handheld device. Something which you cannot hold by hand, that becomes apparatus. That's apparatus claim. So you have device claims, you have apparatus claims, and then say for example that apparatus, that box itself is encasing. Many times that box can be called as housing. Housing is basically something, a periphery or periphery module can be defined as housing, or a housing module, or it can be housing. In the patenting language, you can be your own lexicographer. What does that mean, being your own lexicographer? Being your own lexicographer means stating that this word is being defined like, they say for example, the first thing in any school, I believe, that's again whatever I'm stating, I'm just stating from my experience. I'm not representing any authority right now. It's my own experience which I generally share with the online world, which is called as www World Wide Web. So the point I was trying to make here is, being your own lexicographer means, or in the school time, the first thing is write about yourself. Write 5 sentences about yourself. At least I did this when I was in army school. So when you start writing about yourself, first you say, okay, my name is blah blah blah, my father name is this, my mother name is this, my grandfather name is this, my grandmother name is this. You will talk about a little about profession, and it's basically a kid writing this essay about myself. Can mean a lot to that kid. Say for example, the kid writes that essay on the first week, the same kid writes that essay on the second week, third week, fourth week. There would be some kind of iterations, and some kind of thought process is going to bubble up, and that's what patenting world is all about. So 2 words I'm going to discuss. The first word, which the ambit of the word is quite wide, that is vessel. Now what does this vessel mean? I as I said, I have loads and loads of dictionary with me obviously Oxford Dictionary is one. Then we have black back black back Black Law Dictionary. Many a times, some words I generally don't use, but we have that dictionary also. And then I have Concise Dictionary. I have dictionaries from 18th century. uh, like I have some dictionaries which my forefathers used to use. So coming back to the point is, let's define a vessel. The vessel is a broader word as compared to chamber. Chamber, generally you will see in the law language, chamber of commerce, chamber of judge. So basically chamber is a room size kind of denomination, or the way you can explain chamber. Now coming back to the vessel, the word vessel denotes anything made for the convenience by water of human being or of property. So that has been stated in IPC 45 of 1860, section 48. Again, under the General Clause Act 10 of 1897, section 3, subrule 63, vessel includes any ship, boat, or any other description of vessel used in navigation. So in your case, I believe irrespective of what innovation you are using, I think the better word would be vessel. It has a broader ambit and the pie is bigger. Vessel includes boat, raft, timber and other floating bodies. Includes every ship, boat and other vessel used in navigation, whether propelled, blah blah blah. Includes anything made for the convenience of water by human beings or of property. A usually hollow structure used on or in water for the purpose of navigation. So chamber is basically, if you see the different dictionary meaning, I think in your case, whatever you stated, I'm not getting into the fact. I think vessel is a better word because it's used for navigation. Then other thing which you are proposing here is the size. Now let me tell you, when writing a pattern application, it's always good to give a range rather than the precise size. You might like to add, in one embodiment of the present invention, you can talk about a size range. Then in another embodiment of the present invention, talk about another size range. Propose, do you really want to disclose this, is the question you need to answer. You can always also include the preferred embodiment of the present invention, because if the range itself is sufficing the purpose, you can keep this data to yourself for the trade secret purpose. Because many a times what happens is, when a patent application is published, it is open to public, anybody can use it for re-engineering without even giving due credits. And if you really want to see the bigger picture, the bigger pie of this whole ecosystem of what intellectual property rights is all about, I believe keep it as a trade secret, and the other things you can disclose in a range, because the range itself is including that range. And if you can give some kind of scientific data, that will be awesome. So include scientific data, and we are always there to facilitate and write your application. One more thing which I feel that innovators in India need to understand is, hire the experts. See, there are only 5,000 registered patent attorneys, and these are the people who have really rigorously worked to clear this exam. If you do it on your own, you are spoiling your chances of getting a strong application granted. So hire a patent attorney, pay the fees, whatever is your, or whatever deal you are able to strike. So wishing you all the best, and I think I have been able to do justice to your question. So yeah, happy about it. Have a great week ahead, and wish you all the best with your innovation. Thank you so much for watching out this video.